So, hey Leo, my name is Chris, and this is your beautiful reading for whenever you find it. Welcome. I hope you're feeling fine. I hope you're relaxed, and I hope we can raise your frequency a little. I'm going to do a little bit of Celtic cross, but the small cross, basically. There is the Six of Pentacles in the center of your reading. So, balancing something out, yet going forward very enthusiastically. With the Knight of Wands, then we got in the foundation the King of the Butterfly King, the King of Swords, the King of Discernment. You totally learned a lot. In the past, in the last developmental cycle, I talk about this all day freaking long in my readings because it's 2026, right? We're coming from a very heavy, dark, tough developmental cycle. If you're resonating with this channel, you're most likely an empathic being. It has been pretty tough, right? For empathic beings, decent human beings, because it was kind of the night, the time of the narcissist. There we go, I talk about it, and there the Five of Cups shows up in the past. So maybe that's narcissistic abuse, maybe that's toxicity. The universe kind of knocked over a few of your cups. So one of these cups was poisoned. That's the story with the Five of Cups. So there is disappointment in the past, but it was kind of necessary for you to become that King of Discernment, to become that King of Swords that is very much seeing the world as it really is. Not just as you would like to have it, but as it really is. So there is disappointment of illusions. That's kind of also the Five of Cups energy. And then there is discernment and clear thought, clear ideas, a clear vision of the world. You see it as it is. And then you're working with that and you're making a choice. You're starting a new chapter here in 2026. I said it's not time specific, but it's certainly a 2026 reading because we're in this seismic shift where everything changes in 2026, I tell you. And the universe is trying to give you something back. If you have given a lot, if you maybe have been exploited, if you maybe have been going through narcissistic abuse, something like that, you're going from the Five of Cups to the Six of Pentacles. It is time to receive something if you have given a lot. It is time to give something if you have received a lot. So that's very important. The Four of Swords. In the foundation, you got the King of Swords. In the crown, you got the Four of Swords. And the Four of Swords is a peaceful mindset, right? King of Discernment, you see the world as it is. You're no longer naive, no longer easily persuaded, tricked into believing nice stories that are just too good to be true. You're no longer going or falling for the fake smile, right? You no longer, believe sugar-coated lies, things like that. The trickster arsenal of the narcissist. You have been through the fire, you've known it, you've learned it, so you know it. But through all that, you preserved your passion, what you want to create, what you're really about. Maybe you discovered that, what is important for you. And the crown with the Four of Swords speaks all about inner peace and protecting your inner peace. And this is what I always preach in all of my readings because it's so freaking important. Find a daily routine. You can do breath work. If you're releasing negativity, make the out breath longer than the in-breath. There are apps for that. Be very careful with breathing in more than you're breathing out, because then you're absorbing the energies around you, and these might not always be the best energies, right? If you have a lot to process, it's better to release negativity, and that's, 5 seconds in, 10 seconds out, 4 seconds in, 8 seconds out. You get the idea. Make the out breath longer. Do that every day. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, half an hour, right? Maybe an hour at the weekend. If you really need it, transforms your life, I tell you. Combine that with meditation. And you're not just the King of Swords, who definitively learned a lot, but you're actually acting accordingly. The Queen is internalizing that, right? And making a plan, laser focus on her own liberation. The King is already there. The King of Swords is taking action. And you're taking action. And there's this combination of the Knight of Wands, which is just playful, enthusiastic energy. You're going forward after whatever shit happened in the past, right? You're going forward. It's a new start. And something is balanced out. That's the center part here. And the most important thing is, if you go forward, if you start something new, protect your inner peace. Keep your inner peace. That's the most important thing for you. Stay grounded. Stay centered within yourself. And that's a daily practice, meditation, breath work, right? Reason to celebrate. That's the Three of Cups. And maybe we just do a little more, and maybe, there's the Seven of Cups. Where do you want to go next? So many possibilities. And when I see the Seven of Cups, pretty much, that's your energy, right? So you want to make a change. You want to learn from the past. You totally learned from the past. Do not reject the lessons from the past, right? You invested a lot in these lectures that you have learned, right? In other words, they cost you. Something was built, something was destroyed, you lost something in the past. Probably the last 9 or 10 years was a big developmental cycle. Pretty tough for empathic beings. But you learned something, and the most important thing that you learned is to protect your inner peace. In whatever comes next, in whatever you're starting, it always comes in waves. So if you went down in the last cycle, 9 or 10 years, then it's time for an upswing again. So everything moves in waves. And you have to make a choice now. And the most important thing is that you stay awake and protect your inner peace and be wise enough to make a wise choice. So as much as you want to start something new, be sure to look at your options and take a step back. Don't make rush decisions, right? Everybody who's trying to rush you, everybody who's trying to, you have to sign the contract right now and we need to know right now. And, everybody who's trying to pressure you into making a decision or trying to rush you, this is a red flag. So you have to take your time to make that decision and to make it wisely. There's the Chariot. As soon as you make that decision, things are probably speeding up. There is the Fool card. There's the Fool card. And there is the Ten of Cups. And the Devil showed up 2 times when I picked the cards. But I didn't pick the Devil because it was not its turn, so to speak, but it showed up. And when I see the Seven of Cups, right? You are totally making a decision, and you making it in the mindset of the King of Swords, the King of Discernment, with inner peace. I say this again and again. If you have to make a decision, whether it's a new job, whether it's a new, apartment, whether it's a new friendship, relationship, the first date, the first staying over, whatever romantic encounter, take a step back, right? Do not be rushed into anything. Certainly not in 2026, right? The most important thing is the decision that you're making now is most likely kind of determining a longer area, a longer time frame, right? Pluto is in Aquarius now, so we're talking pretty much for the next 20 years. So take your time, take a step back, right? There is reason to celebrate. The universe is on your side. The universe has seen what has happened. Your frequency is just ready to receive something good. There's joy, there's happiness, there are good people surrounding you. So even if you might feel alone, even if you might not see them, there is support. And as soon as you make that decision, right, don't rush the decision, everything just clicks into place. There's the Chariot, mega support from the universe, and that comes from the outside world. Probably true friendship, to acquaintances, to some sort of relationships, not necessarily romantic, could be a friendship, could be some work-related relationship. There's your new beginning with the Fool card, a fresh new start. And these two, that's the crown and that's the outcome. And it is a complete Celtic cross now at this time. I didn't want it to do it, but here we are, right? So inner peace, protect your inner peace, and fortune after difficulty. That is such a beautiful energy, and I'm really happy to see this, because there's not, well, there is one kind of darker card, right? In the past, in your last developmental cycle where you lost something, but now it's gone, right? You just have to leave it behind. And there's another message here. You didn't lose everything, right? 3 cups are down, 1 was poisoned, so good riddance. Maybe it was a relationship, something that your heart was very much connected to. That's why it's so hard to leave it behind, but in leaving behind, you're going forward, turning around, looking into the future, seizing the moment in the here and now, coming from a very mature frequency. That's the foundation here. And from that wisdom, from that, oh, I've learned so much. I'm no longer the naive little puppy who, gets too excited. There is this energy of getting excited, but it's the crossing energy framed basically with the foundation and the crown, King of Swords, 4 of Swords. So that fire energy that is enthusiastic, nothing against enthusiasm, by all means, right? You need that for a brand new start. But while you make your decision, don't say yes immediately. If it's not a clear yes, it's a clear no, actually. Listen to your intuition, listen to what you have learned. Look at the constellation. Is there something toxic about it? How do people treat each other? How is the power dynamic? Are they on the same level? Do they treat them right? Is somebody put down? You can, little indicators, you can see that. And if you have been through narcissistic abuse, you see that, right? Do not reject that. Right? Trust yourself, listen to that, and then make an informed decision. You can always say, oh, I need to sleep over it. Give me 3 days to think about it. And then not so much think about it, but meditate about it, right? Let it sink in, sit with the possibility, breathwork, meditation, and then you make your decision. Leave the old behind, and there is continuity. Not everything, as I said, not everything got lost. Take what's left. What's left is enough. What's left is enough, and then build on that. This is going to be, okay, let's just do a few clarifiers, not too many. The 9 of Cups, yay. It's not the King of Pentacles, it's the 9 of Cups. So happiness, contentment, inner peace much more important than the big career thing or the big job that pays the big bills, you know? There is the Tree of Cups with the the Tree of Swords, clarifying the Five of Cups. Maybe there was a broken heart in the past, narcissistic abuse. But now it's time. The universe wants to invite you. There's the Four of Wands for a new chapter. Don't be naive. There's the Knight of Pentacles showing up again. Where do we put him? You didn't lose everything, right? Whether it's a qualification, whether it's a skill set, whether it's just plain vanilla experience, right? Yeah, you have to make your decision. The old chapter definitively over. And there is the connection between inner peace and finding a home to stay, building a new life in happiness and joy, totally being yourself enough. That's kind of the in-between connection here. It's beautiful, right? Right there, smack in the middle with the Fool card, the Six of Pentacles, the Four of Swords, and the most beautiful Ten of Cups, right? Nothing to prove. You don't need a great job title. You need to pay your bills. You need to take care of yourself and just be happy. You know, you don't need to show off your mastership. And your mastership is the king of discernment. You learned a lot. You see clearly, right? You went to that dark night of the soul. That's the Moon card. That's the Eight of Cups. And you're arriving in a brand new cycle of your life. And you totally deserve this. Make your decision from a peace, calm consciousness. And the practice, the everyday practice that you do is meditation and breathwork. And if you can go for a walk, do some sport, some physical activity. You don't have to do it all. Just one step at a time, right? Make that decision from inner peace, not being rushed, not being pressured into it, not being, sometimes people narcissistic abuse is not always that people try to pressure you into something. Sometimes they manipulate you through enthusiasm, through joy even, right? And you think, yeah, let's do it. Yeah, it looks so great. Everything looks good on paper. Oh, it's so nice, and they're sugarcoating everything. They must be good people. But narcissists, especially covert narcissist people, they know how to sugarcoat things. They know how to make you feel good. And that alone, if it's just too nice, if it's just too polished, that's a red flag as well. Blue Earth Angel, higher vibration. You are expanding your awareness and evolving into a higher vibration. This vibration, this vibratory shift is part of humanity's natural evolution. It is occurring alongside rapid technological change. Time seems to be going faster and faster. The days and years fly by. This is why you feel overly sensitive and emotional at times, and why there's so much fear and confusion in our world. Looking back at our history, we see that great changes usually occur in times of conflict and upheaval. Perhaps these conditions are necessary for major change to occur. The beautiful angel on this card is here to assure you that all is well and unfolding as it should. You are safe and humanity is on the right track, even though it may not always seem so. Some outdated structures in our global fabric might need to fall along with some outdated views and mindsets. This is a necessary part of our evolution. A new era will soon be born, one of higher awareness and great love, and you are part of this new world. So maybe you can see everything that you lost, everything, all the disappointments, all the heartbreak that you might have been through in the last It's 2026. I can't talk about it. I can't do readings without referring to the last developmental cycle, the last 9 or 10 years. 5 of Cups, 3 of Swords, right? That hurt. That was narcissistic abuse. That was betrayal. That was abandonment. That was all that horrible jazz, right? And it hurt. But you learned something, and you learned it the hard way. But we all had to learn it to come out of the illusion that we were held in, that we lived in. You know, we were believing nice stories like little children believing in the Easter Bunny or Santa Claus, right? Or, you know, and you can think about that as a disappointment when a little child is learning that there is no Santa Claus or no Easter Bunny or whatever it is in your culture, right? That's a shock, right? For some children it is, but it's kind of a necessary shock to grow up, to come into discernment, to learn and to see the world as it is, and to deal with that and go forward. Because next time somebody is telling you a cock and bull story about the Easter Bunny, you know there's no Easter Bunny, right? And you know, oh, you're telling me that story about the Easter Bunny? You're full of shit, lady, gentleman, whatever, right? And you're coming from that, and you can take a step back and say, oh, that nice story that you just told me is a lie. So you're trying to manipulate me, and you're taking a step back. So this is this discernment, this is the wisdom that I mean. And it came to you through disappointment, and it hurt. But it was necessary for you to take that step into a higher, more grown-up consciousness. That's the Blue Earth Angel from the Blue Earth Angel Oracle deck. Beautiful energy. And let's just do one more. Yeah, turn knowledge into wisdom. And that basically is Wolf Spirit. What you have learned, knowledge into wisdom. So this is the King of Knowledge, and this is applied wisdom. 4 of Swords is healing. 4 of Swords is letting something sink in, process something. And for me, this is pretty much the meditation and breathwork card. So a daily practice. And if you do a daily practice, this is the guy who learned something, maybe the hard way. So now you know something, but you have to turn that knowledge into wisdom, and that means you have to apply it. When you encounter people who just seem too good to be true, maybe they are, right? Trust your gut feelings, trust your discernment, and not just, know it, but apply your knowledge, and that is wisdom. Okay. I just wanted to make a 3-card reading, but this is very beautiful. Full spread Celtic cross, right? Working harder doesn't work anymore. Slow down. Working harder doesn't work anymore. Slow down. Inner peace. Keep your inner circle sacred and safe. Do not allow people into your life you do not know. Do not allow people into your life who disrupt your inner peace, who bring irritation and chaos and turmoil into your life. And certainly stay away from people who put others down to give themselves a false sense of elevation, because this is what all narcissistic people, toxic people, antagonistic people do. Having said that, there's another quote here, 3 quotes, right? Observe what you dislike in others, seek those traits within yourself, unlearn them, and this is how you nurture self-love. So don't be mad at the clown. Ask yourself why you keep going to the circus, right? That's a very important quote, and I love it a lot. Observe what you don't like in others, right? But then instead of being angry about the people acting like they are behaving like they're acting, right? ask yourself, why am I entertaining this? Why am I giving this energy? Why am I, if I don't like the clowns, why do I go to the circus? And now the time is right for you to make a big decision. Where are you going to, who are you letting into your life? How do you furniture, so to speak, your life after what you have learned and what you have been through? Apply the wisdom, apply what you have learned, and don't be mad at the clowns. Do not go to the circus, and do not allow any clown into your life. And clown, of course, stands for narcissistic people, antagonistic people, toxic people, chaotic people, people who put others down. You're not one of them. Protect your inner peace, make a decision, take a step back. Take 3 days to make a decision, right? If these are the right people, they will understand. You go for happiness, and happiness is a daily practice. There's gratefulness as well, being grateful for what is given to you, for your talents. You're receiving a lot. This is a joyful new beginning, even if it might feel heavy, but look forward, trust the universe, all is well. Share, like, subscribe, leave a comment, let me know what you think about it. Check out, there's a spring reading, there's a yearly reading. I'm going to link one of these here somewhere, and hopefully see you next time. Now, bye, my friend. Ciao.